I am Slick Nick, the living legend. And something I have immediately learned about newly owning this Jeep Wrangler is, it is a nightmare if you have to obtain a back seat for a Jeep Wrangler. This is a JK, this is a 2010 JK. So we ordered one online. We went to the website. It clearly said Jeep Wrangler JK 2010, two-seater. We looked it all up, and it clearly said this third-party seat will work for this Jeep. So the Jeep was actually at my parents' house before I could come get it, because it was close to them where they picked it up, and we had the seat shipped here. And I was excited because, okay, well, my dad was going to install the seat. Oh yeah, come on in. My dad was going to install the seat, and then I was going to get it that weekend, and that was all going to be good. So we had this shipped. I mean, we got every confirmation we could that this definitely would fit. It's Corbeau seats. And so I thought, well, this is easy. I mean, the Jeeps are pretty simple. Shouldn't be a problem that we don't have the factory seats in it. Just get a third-party seat. So what I decided was, and these are the brackets that it came with, but what we decided is I'd have my dad go ahead and install it. That way you'd be ready when I come pick it up. I thought it's really not going to be trouble at all. In fact, I was almost thinking it might even just kind of clamp on or something. I really was being very optimistic about this. And wow. Yeah, so I mean, here it is. This is the seat. I don't want to take it back out of the wrapping again because I have to return it. But so what I want is you to explain what it was like trying to install the seat.
Well, like you, I mean, looking at the Jeep, the brackets are made in the floor, and I thought, well, this seat will just snap in. I mean, you just push it in, and it's going to automatically clamp like most do.
Like we used to have the Ford Aerostar minivan. I think those seats,
yeah,
they just go, and that's it.
Yeah. So once I got this, and I thought, well, it comes with brackets. Maybe I got to put the brackets on, but there was no way these brackets that came with this would attach to that Jeep. I mean, they were so far off. There was just nothing. There's nothing here that would work on there. And so I went online and I watched the video for Corbeau seats, and the guy showed, him putting it in the Jeep. And in his Jeep, it worked. But on this one, no way. And then he did say at the end, well, some Jeeps you may have to drill holes. Okay, who wants to drill holes in their Jeep? To put a aftermarket seat that doesn't even match. It doesn't look right. It's small. And then also, I realized later that the original seat has the seat belts attached to the seat, the connector ends. This didn't have any, so the seat belts wouldn't even have worked. There would have been no seat belts if you would have made that drilling holes and putting this in your Jeep. Been a big mistake.
Yeah, because then and I didn't even really understand that until today, that even if it fit and you didn't have to drill holes, there's still no way to use seat belts. And you have to have. I mean, where I'm in Tennessee, like, it's a major ticket violation if you ever drive without someone wearing a seatbelt. Like, you can't do it. So yeah, even if it fit and you didn't drill holes, you couldn't use seatbelts. So what's the point of having a seat?
Right.
But like you said, who wants to drill holes in their Jeep? I mean, this is a nice Jeep. I'm trying to think, well, what if you had like an early 80s model and it was just out on the, you keep it in a barn.
That would have been perfect.
You could drill holes in it, but I'm not drilling holes in this if I don't have to. So what we've learned so far is now we have ordered, and I think that cost, like, I think with shipping and tax, I think it might have been like, it wasn't even $300 for that. So I mean, that's part of why I felt so good about it, because like, this is so affordable. But so now the next step was, after we realized it didn't work, I had a day of like, okay, well, where do you get it? See, because my wife and I already knew that there were not a lot of places, even online, to buy a back seat for a Jeep Wrangler. Like, there just weren't a lot of options, especially that fit a 2010 JK. And so basically, as I talked to other people who own Jeeps, they're like, yeah, well, those seats, Jeep parts in general are such a commodity that you're going to have to go to a junkyard, a salvage yard, a pull apart, whatever you want to call it. And so you called a couple places around here.
Yeah.
And they just flat out didn't have any.
No, didn't have any.
So panic is starting to set in a little bit at this point because how am I going to drive this Jeep with my kids in the back? Because I drive them to school. How am I going to do this? And so eBay, of all places, and the last time I was on eBay, it was like bidding on an N64 with all these games. It's been a long time since I was on there. Well, this past week there were 3 of the Jeep Backseats available in the United States. There were 3. And so my wife and I went ahead, we made sure it definitely good for a Jeep Wrangler JK. We held our breath, order, with tax and everything, I think it was $697. So like $700 for a back seat. That it basically, what's funny about it is all it's really going to be used for 1 mile to this school, 1 mile to this school as I drop off both my kids, and then on the weekend driving to church, driving to soccer game, whatever it is, and that's it. But we have to have them. It'd be different if I was single. It wouldn't matter. But I'm learning that it is quite a nightmare to get Jeep Wrangler back seats. Please God, let these Jeep seats come in the next couple days, which they're supposed to. Let them fit. They belong to the Jeep. Even the colors match up perfectly, so we know. Mm-hmm. And we saw in the picture that there's brackets underneath the seat.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be any drill holes. I think the picture showed the seat belts in there, right? We both remember seeing that, right? Yeah. I'm trying to make sure I'm not imagining this. And so, in theory, the next couple of days, they will arrive. You'll be able to install them. We'll come here for my birthday, which is a week from today. We'll come here for my birthday. On my actual birthday, I will officially have my Jeep with the back seats, and I'll drive it back to Tennessee, and it's officially mine. But until there's back seats, I have this Jeep that I bought that I can't drive right now. So eBay was the answer. I guess now there's only 2 in the United States that exist of these back seats remaining. Yeah. Because, and somebody had already said, the moment Jeep parts show up at a new junkyard, it's like vultures. They immediately get the stuff. And I think that's how it was explained to me. The way that those back seats were even on eBay was because they showed up at the junkyard, and probably the guy that owned the junkyard knows, okay, go ahead and put these on eBay because they're going to be a commodity. Yeah. It's just the fact that Jeep Wranglers hold their value so well. But then on top of that, and that's a good question to really to end this video. Why is it not easier to get back seats for a Jeep Wrangler? It should be easier than this.
Yeah.
It really should be easier.
I know you even checked at the dealer and hit the
dealer.
Yeah. Yeah, tell that story. Yeah.
Okay. So I called the local, so where my parents live in Alabama versus where I live in Tennessee is 2.5, 3 hours. So I had to base everything around this town in Alabama, 3 hours away. So I called the local dealership. Okay, well, you got to talk to Freddie. He comes in at 7 a.m. So I'm calling him every 5 minutes on the drive to work. Finally at 9 o'clock, somebody answers the phone, and they send me to the parts department. And I tell them, hey, all I need is a back seat for a JK. And he says, for the seat covers alone, you're looking at about $1,000 just for the seat covers. And he says, if you can order the seats on top of that, the brackets, and if I was to install it, he didn't even give me a dollar amount, but when he said that the seat covers alone were $1,200, that already told me. He's like, trust me, you don't want to get them from us or any dealer, because even then, they're shipped in pieces. It's not like it comes in one unit. So like it would take several days just to get all the pieces. Let's assume if the covers alone were $1,000, it would have been $3,000, $3,500. Yeah. Now granted, I got such a good deal on this Jeep that still wouldn't have offset how much of a good deal I got on this Jeep. But that is a lot of trouble, and so that just wasn't an option. So eBay, and even as I'm making this video, this is my real life. I'm living this right now. There's still that part of me that's worried. Please let this work. If not, I won't be able to take my Jeep back home, and now it's, I've already got insurance on it. I can't drive it, so that's where we're at with it. So I want to close this video officially by saying, if you can relate to this, if you can enlighten me, enlighten us on this. If there's a better, easier way to get a backseat replacement for a Jeep Wrangler JK, please do the world a favor, do the Jeep community a favor, and pick up the rest of the story in the comments. Please explain what I don't know. If I'm missing something big, please let us know. And I'm actually going to officially end this video by just showing you a shot of the back seat and what it looks like right now, or at least without the back seat. I mean, that's where we're at right now. We got nothing. We got to put something there. So, if you can help us out, please leave a comment. Share with the rest of the world on an easier way to definitely get a back seat for a Jeep Wrangler without having to drill holes in your Jeep.